Alright, so before I do the BAM, there's this thing I guess that YouTube's been doing called Dear Me or like the Dear Me project or something. And I'm like, that seems cool. Let's give this a go. So BAM! That was the weakest BAM. Okay. Anyway, let's get on with this. Dear Me. Okay, I feel like other people have written this up, but I'm just gonna. Okay, let's I guess take it back to when I was in my scene phase. Mentally, not physically. Alright. Dear Me. You're doing really great, you know. You're you're happy, you've got friends, you've got your internet friends, you've got your internet girlfriend. Everything's fine and dandy and great at home. You know, you you're clean. Well, you're not even clean. You aren't harming yourself. You aren't, you're not doing anything gross or illegal. You're doing great. You're doing fine, you know? And it's neat that you're into My Little Pony. Just never read pony porn. Not saying I did, because trust me, I didn't. Get out of the Squirrel Mouse fandom as soon as possible, if not sooner. But, I mean, if you hadn't that one time gotten the Pandora radio station as a joke, or the Pandora dubstep station as a joke, we wouldn't be where we are today. So, props to you, bud. That was a high five, not a slap to the face. So, thank you for that. Another thank you for however on Instagram you thought of the username Run Kitty Run, and people had started calling me Kitty. And, as my self-discovery portion of realizing that I am now Catkin, everything is making sense now. Why I would wear cat ears everywhere. I tried wearing cat whiskers to school once or twice. And, I meow, I purr, I hiss. And the name Kitty just kind of makes it all complete. And I am strongly thinking of legally changing my name to Kitty once I'm able. And, thank you for that. Thank you for never giving up with this seemingly impossible scene hair. That was great. Emily, you're gonna go through a lot of shit with her, but, in the end, after all that's over, you'll find her again. But with that time that had passed, she's male now, and her name is Tom. And you're gonna feel really cool about that. And that's really gonna be your first experience with any sort of other gender identity. And that's gonna open a lot of doors for you. And you still haven't gotten to dye your hair yet. One second. Sorry about the children. You still haven't gotten to dye your hair completely yet. You still dream of it a lot. And think of it often. You never end up being able to stretch your ears. Not yet, at least. Although you did pierce yours 3 times up over here. And, Mom got mad for about a day. Not even a day, really. She didn't even make you take him out and let him heal up. Which is a good thing. Don't don't think about dropping out, because it will go a whole lot better than you have ever thought that you would ever think it would. And Miss Isley, in the beginning, she's a horrifying bitch, and she, not gonna lie, she hates you personally, but she's not permanent. And once the October-November time comes, Miss McDonald is going to be like Jesus. She's just the best. You you experienced a lot. You were out of school for 3 or 4 months, partially because of Christmas break, partially because of your stay in the Ridgeview Mental Institution. And your depression has been diagnosed, and you are not just another whiny 12-year-old on the internet. You're still whiny, but you're not 12. Constantly remind yourself that you're over the age of 13, because to this day I forget that I'm 15. You still haven't gotten a chance to go to a rave. You've been rave ready for like 3 years. Not even 3 yet, maybe half a year. I don't know. I don't even know what me I'm talking to. You get your first kiss at Hot Wheels. You haven't been to Hot Wheels in forever, though. But your dad he's gonna start having a pain in his leg. And he's gonna start wearing a ankle brace thing that Uncle Richard sent him. And it's gonna start progressing really fast. And, soon he'll be using a cane, and then he'll be using a walker. Even further down the road, he'll be diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. He'll be, almost permanently stationed in a hospital bed in your living room. He'll have a catheter, a bedpan, an oxygen mask, and soon enough, he can't go long at all without having the oxygen mask. And you become the only one who really can talk to him, even with the oxygen mask on. And he's gonna tell you, he's gonna say that he feels stronger around you. And shortly after, he is going to be taken into a hospice care place. And because, after a certain amount of hospice care you receive, you can have, get a free stay in one of their units for a week. And you're not going to last the full week there. And you're going to pass in your sleep on a Friday, just weeks, maybe a month or two before you get out of the 8th grade. But the woman who had been watching after your father, her name is Caroline, and she's very nice, and she will take you and I believe her niece and nephew and your brother to Hot Wheels, the skating place, and you're gonna meet a girl there, and her name is Erin, but she decides to go by Catherine sometimes, but you met her as Erin, so you call her Erin. You go there with your friend Maddie, and you said to become a regular there. You get your first kiss there. There's a photo booth there. You're going to become so addicted to photo booths. They are like your thing. In 7th grade, right? Yeah, in 7th grade, you're going to meet your best friend in the whole entire world, Trayalo Shigley. And you're going to have so many inside jokes. And you're going to be in a committed platonic relationship, and it's going to be wonderful. And you can tell each other everything. But you sadly only get to go to school with her for 1 year because, like the internet addict she is, no, but she decides to do online schooling, but she will later on tell you that once you are in your junior year, she will be coming to the high school that you are going to. So you can finally be reunited on a more regular basis. And it's very great. Your long hair, you're gonna miss it. like you're gonna like how it turns out, but you're gonna miss it. And when you're getting your hair cut, you were wanting to go asymmetrical, like have it short on one side, long on the other. Go for that because you think that it's going to be hard to manage because you're going up north for the winter, but you're actually not because shortly after your dad passed, your Uncle Rusty passed as well due to a sudden heart attack. So there's going to be much sadness, much, it's going to be very down on you there. So just go for the asymmetrical. And if you're afraid, then just get it short because in the end you're really going to like how it turns out. Stop wearing the 8 million bobby pins trailing from the back of your head to over here. Stop abusing hairspray. Put down the white eyeliner and keep your lips a nude or natural color. Jesus, I cannot emphasize that enough. Enjoy your red meat while you can, because right now I'm going on a year and a half of being semi-vegetarian. You know what? Try to go longer without chicken. You probably lasted back in hindsight maybe under 3 months without chicken before realizing that chicken is vital. Chicken is great. We love chicken. I feel like I'm talking to myself in the third person, maybe because I am. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Because we all know that you are going to go and you're going to go into Hot Topic just like you always do in the mall. You are going to look through things and you're going to see that red tail. And you're going to see that it's, around $12, $13. You're going to be like, oh man, I don't have that much. And then you're going to come back about a week later and you're swearing to yourself that if you see that tail, you're buying it. And you walk in there and you look around a little bit and you see that tail and you buy it right then and there. Do not be afraid to wear that in public. People may stare, but they need to get over themselves. Wear that tail as you wish, and one day it will break because it's shit quality. But you'll find it one day at just the right moment, at just the right time when you need it. You're feeling upset, you're going through some old crafty shit that is on the back porch, and you're going to be going through boxes, you're going to find all this stuff, and you're going to find the tail. And, just as you found the tail, you were messing around with those, finger loops that you used to do back in your Girl Scout days, and you're going to resurrect the tail, and you're going to, you're going to be complete furry trash for a day. You're also going to, stumble across, you probably already have, stumble across the Instagram user Ashy Roars, and from that day on, you are a furry. You are great. You're not, you're a furry, but you're not furry trash. Thank God for that. And let's rewind back to your Scroll Mouse days. You and your internet girlfriend, who is now Tom, but was then Emily. Emily is slowly going to start transitioning, and you are going to start following her into the Onceler fandom. And the Onceler fandom sadly did not last very long, but it was great, You watched it evolve from just Onceler, or from the Onceler and Greedler, to Swag and One and Bitter and the Spook Troop and the Creation. You even named Swunter. Like you contributed a heck a lot to that fandom, and it sadly didn't last very long. But a mutual friend of you and Tom's, her name was Chloe, and she was into this thing. What was it called? Like Homestuck? And you asked her one day, you said, Chloe, should I start reading Homestuck? To which she replies, shit, hecky yes, best, best, best. Give or take on the wording. And you're like, alright, cool. But, you know, you never actually start. 2.5, 3 years later, maybe, you go to this cool summer camp at your mom's college that she graduates from. That she you know, she's not in college yet. Well, she is, but she had to drop out, you know, because your dad was sick. But she finds time again, and she's studying law at KSU, Kennesaw University, and you take a summer camp type thing there for manga and comic book art, and you make a lot of friends, and you come across again this Homestuck thing, and so you're like, okay, I meant to read it back in those days, but now let me just give it another try. And just as you're a furry but you're not furry trash, you do have a bit of a Homestuck trash phase, but you can't just not be Homestuck trash. Like, for a while you just warned everyone about stairs, bro, and all that. You weren't actually very Homestuck trash, actually. I mean, you weren't too Homestuck trash. You did try making the Cat Stuck comic with your friend, and because of your stupidity and more confident internet persona, you and she had a very long time where you were not allowed to talk because she was a lot younger than you. And you are recently now again able to talk, but with the time and grade levels and all that good stuff, it's kind of hard to find time. But, and you. What are we gonna do? We're gonna get a girlfriend, This, you know, the week of your birthday, that Tuesday, because your birthday was on a Wednesday. That Tuesday, you meet this kid everyone's been talking about. Everyone's like, "Hey, have you met that Cal guy?" And I'm like, "Cal?" And you swore to yourself again that you had seen some short kid with like bleach blonde, swoopy hair. And you're like, "Wait, is Cal the short one?" And your friend Ashton, she's great. On your walkthrough for high school, you meet you're very intimidated by them because they're gorgeous and they're upperclassmen. You meet these two super nice girls. Their names are Ashton and Noelle. They are a junior and senior respectively. Noelle greets you with a firm handshake, which is something that you will absolutely come to love. She greets you with a firm handshake, and it's wonderful, and you just kind of love her from there on. Um, she gets a bit overdramatic at times, and as do you. You've yelled at a few people for very little things, like small things. Jesus Christ. Anyway, what was I saying? You get very into Homestuck. You are very, very well behind in it. As, you started reading like 3/4 or so away into the Gigapause, and you don't know what that is right now. But it had basically been on hiatus for like a year, and soon enough, you don't get caught up immediately as he starts, or as it starts updating again, but you do get caught up, and as of now you are 100% all caught up. And you know it's a good accomplishment. You're proud of it, to be honest, because you thought that you'd never make it through. Um, right, but we get a girlfriend. We learn to stop wearing makeup down to here. Um, and boy, am I glad. You eventually do get acrylics, and it's wonderful, and you love it. Um, you know, you you what do you do? You still are yet to get a cat, but again, you swear to yourself, you are getting a cat when you move out. You shush. Sorry. You hey. You give up on piano because you sucked at everything. You join band, but you drop out because you suck at that too. And you are now learning to play ukulele, which you suck considerably less at. Minus the fact that when you feel like you've got a good rhythm going, you stop because you get embarrassed. But understandably, it's actually even harder for you now to admit that you can do things well, even though you know you can. It's hard to admit that because you don't want to seem cocky, and sometimes you think to yourself statements like, sometimes I forget how pretty I am. And it sounds awful. It sounds rude and self-absorbed and cocky and narcissistic, but you do. You can, at times you have a great heart. You're a very understanding person. You're very unbiased. You don't usually tend to take sides, which can also result in bad things, but you feel that unless you are completely against something or completely 100% all for it, you're backed up with facts and everything, or you're just strongly opinionated, you almost never take sides for anything. Ever since you were little, when they ask if the glass is half empty or half full, you always ask, well, how did it start? You are gonna do great things, and me saying that to my future self, I hope I'm gonna do great things. So I still, I haven't accomplished a whole lot in life. I mean, I I made it to high school. Um, I'm terrified to drive. I don't have my permit. I don't really plan to get my permit for a while. Um, you get acrylics. You get your first real life girlfriend. You get banged by your first real life girlfriend. Ooh. Um, you start doing your eyebrows. You start using foundation and big makeup products, like not big ones, not like you still really want to, you're not so sure if you want to be a visual artist as much as you want to be a costume or makeup like cosmetologist. Like you just want to do people's makeup, and you kind of want to do their hair, but since you were younger, like in fifth grade, you would always try to do your friend's hair, and they would always say that you pulled really hard. Well, maybe it's because you got thick freaking hair, so you gotta, pull hard on thick hair to get it to actually do things. You haven't convinced your mom to get a nose stud that you don't want yet, but soon find that you crave that mineral. I really shouldn't have said that. That was funny for about 3 days. You'll figure out what I mean by that later. You'll go through a few Tumblr accounts, and by a few I mean like a handful, like less than 5. And you are going to admin one with your soon-to-be best friend, Taylor. and it's going to start kind of as a joke, but you actually went and you made sure that, the URL is ironic hipster quotes, and you're gonna tell some of your school friends about it, and a few of them are gonna be like, "Oh, I've seen that before," and you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, really? Because I 50% admin that," and you're gonna do friggin' spectacular things. You're a very strong individual for all the shit that you're gonna be going through. Like getting diagnosed with depression, anxiety, mood instability, or something. Symptoms of psychosis. Okay, that doesn't really matter. Your dad's gonna get sick. Your dad's gonna get terribly ill. Your dad's going to be, you know, in a bed in your living room for months. And your dad's gonna die. And a month or so after your dad dies, suddenly ALS awareness booms. People are doing the ALS challenge where they dump ice on their head or something. You honestly are really pissed off about it because people are asking you if you've heard of ALS. And it's not like your dad just died from it or anything, but stay strong about it. And I know that's the most cliche thing, and you still have, negative thoughts, which is hard to, not have negative thoughts as a human, but as a person, you get slightly offended as being called human, but, sometimes I myself call myself human because, I got human skin, human qualities, human all that. That will make sense a lot later on. You should, right now, while you're still thinking about it, start watching Strawberry Panic, because I'm sorry, you turn out to really like it. It's very great. And you're on episode 9 right now, but you know, Space Dandy is also going to be wonderful, and you are going to turn into Space Dandy because with your magic anti-gravity scene hair, you can do the Pompadour thing. I don't know if the you I'm talking to right now has started showing dogs, but you're not gonna be showing them anymore. Mainly because of your dad, and mainly because of your cattle allergy, and the fact that many dog shows are held in exposition centers, which usually contain cattle. So there's cattle in the air. So, your mom thinks you're going to be allergic to dogs. You're not allergic to dogs. You just get blotchy because there's been cattle everywhere. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to be a problem because you're not like a horse and cattle addict. I mean, at least I hope I'm not going to be a horse and cattle addict. You've got great things to look forward to, and honestly, if I could look back and redo anything, I don't think I would, because I probably couldn't have made it this far with some of the very small choices that I've made have really impacted me big as a person, and they will you too. And it's just great, it's 10 out of 10 great. It's fantastic. It's 100% wonderful. I need to stop going on how great it's gonna be, but it's just gonna be great, It's gonna be great. Everything is going to be wonderful, and I can't stop smiling. This is such a cliche video. Everything just sounds so dumb, even though it's like personalized to me, and you're cheesy, you're the self-proclaimed pun queen, or pun king, which basically means that you just make the worst puns all the time. You are going to start for maybe a week or two or so, you're going to be starting saying, thanks, custom ink, but it's not going to last long because it's going to annoy people. You know, you turn to have a very good sense of humor. You develop too much of a sense of humor to the point where you make jokes where there very much shouldn't be. But you know, aside from all that, I'm sorry, but aside from all that, you're gonna do great. You know, you're gonna do great things. You done did it, kid. You know, if I could, I'd hug you right now. Because you just, you don't know that you're capable of all these things that you've accomplished. And so you will struggle academically after your lack of motivation drops to an all-time low due to your father's death. You realize that you need to pick it the heck up, and you do. And you know, you're not a straight A student. You haven't been a straight A student since maybe 5th or 6th grade. And you know what? That's totally fine. Oh my god, I just broke a chair. You're gonna break a chair in your future. You know? And because you make dumb decisions daily, some bigger than others, you're going to have some restrictions in certain points at your life. But you can't learn without, I don't know, something wise. I'm just, you know, wise saying here. You know, it's gonna be great. You're gonna do great. You just are. So, fair winds, and, you know, XOXO kitty. You're gonna do great, man. Alright, let's just do a bam for the iconic stuff. Bam! You're gonna grow to love the bam. Alright, bye, kid. You know, good luck out there. Hug. That was the most awkward hug ever.